Ladies and gentlemen, I am now honored to introduce to you our Model-X Intelligent Soldering Iron. It is primarily composed of two parts. The main body is crafted through CNC machining, and the other part is the soldering iron tip, which is an independent module designed for easy replacement of different tips by users. When you first get your hands on the Model X, it can be powered through a Type-C interface. Our product supports PD and QC fast charging protocols, as well as DC and RC battery power supply. It is capable of delivering up to 65 W of power output. Once the power is connected, the Model X will prompt you to insert the soldering iron tip. Alright, now we insert the tip. At this point, on the Model X's display screen, you can observe the current temperature of the soldering iron in real time. In the upper right corner of the display, it shows the percentage of the current power output. The lower right corner displays the current voltage of the soldering iron's power supply, and in the lower left corner, it indicates the current heating switch status of the soldering iron. Now, if we long press the button near the soldering iron tip, the tip will enter the heating mode. The Model X heats up very quickly, capable of rising from room temperature to 320 degrees Celsius in just 8 seconds. Let's do a demonstration. After long pressing the button to activate the heating module and waiting for a moment, we can proceed with soldering. The speed is incredibly fast. To deactivate the heating module, we simply long press the button again. Alright, apart from the aforementioned features, let's introduce some other functionalities of the product. When we enter the settings menu, we'll find that we can adjust the output voltage of the product. It supports a wide voltage input range of 5 to 20 V, allowing you to choose according to your power supply device. Additionally, we can regulate the fast charging protocol to accommodate various chargers. The Model X allows us to set the temperature step value, supporting a step setting range of 5 to 50 degrees Celsius. Users can select a suitable step value according to their own habits, which facilitates quick temperature adjustments during the soldering process. The Model X also features an auto heating switch upon startup, which is defaulted to the off state. When this switch is turned on, the heating module will automatically activate once the Model X is powered on. We will demonstrate this feature at the end of the video. Next, let's talk about the key mapping function. When the key mapping is enabled, the functions of the two buttons will be swapped. When it's disabled, they will return to the default key mapping, providing convenience for users to adjust according to their usage habits. Moving on to the sleep animation, as we mentioned earlier when explaining the display UI, users would have noticed it. Since the default function is enabled, the sleep animation time is related to the standby and sleep time settings. For a more convenient demonstration, we'll set the sleep time to 0. Now, we enter the temperature interface and leave the Model X undisturbed until it enters the sleep state. After the default standby time of 15 seconds, the sleep animation will kick in. Let's wait a moment. Alright, we have now entered the sleep state. The Model X is equipped with a lift detection feature, so when we pick up the Model X again, it will automatically exit the standby mode. Alright, let's introduce some other features of the product. Our product is designed with a voltage protection function, which helps users avoid the issue of their chargers entering an undervoltage state due to insufficient power. The Model X offers a maximum temperature option, supporting a maximum temperature setting range of 200 to 420 degrees Celsius. Furthermore, the Model X provides a temperature preset option, allowing users to set suitable temperature values in advance for quick switching during soldering. Next, we'll go into the standby settings, where we can configure the standby temperature and the time to enter the standby state. A standby temperature of 0 indicates that no temperature maintenance will be performed during standby, and a standby time of 0 means that the Model X will enter standby mode immediately upon being placed down. The lift detection function of the Model X can be turned off by the user, and it is defaulted to the on state. Now let's talk about the UI display angle. By default, we have the auto mode selected, so no matter whether we use our left or right hand, the screen will always display facing us. When I switch auto to 0, and then switch hands again, we notice that the screen not change. Alright, let's switch it back. Next, I'd like to introduce the unique Smart Large Solder Joint Detection feature of the Model X. When a large solder joint is detected, it can automatically increase the temperature to melt the solder, saving users the trouble of adjusting the temperature. We have equipped 3 sensitivity levels for users to choose from. Now, let's demonstrate the sliding VFX feature. The sliding VFX is enabled by default, and we can observe that the visual transition is a smooth process. When we choose to disable the sliding VFX function, the refresh will occur frame by frame. Alright, now let's go back to the product settings and enable the sliding VFX again. The Model X also offers a temperature calibration function to adapt to different types of soldering iron tips. It achieves precise temperature control based on a powerful PID algorithm. The Model X also includes a factory settings restoration option, allowing users to perform a one-click reset. Considering environmentalism and user convenience, the Model X has integrated a product usage instructions QR code inside. Users can simply scan the QR code with their mobile devices to view the product manual and updates in real time. Thanks to the integrated DFU upgrade function, users can achieve a seamless upgrade by simply copying through a computer. Alright, now let's demonstrate the auto heating upon startup feature that we haven't shown yet. By default, it is turned off. In the off state, the Model X will not heat up automatically when powered on. Now, we disconnect the Type-C connection and reconnect the power supply. Alright, we can see that the Model X has not activated the heating switch. Now, we enter the product settings interface and turn on the auto heating upon startup feature. Upon returning to the soldering iron temperature interface, we can see that the soldering iron has already started to heat up automatically. We will now turn off the heating and wait for the soldering iron to cool down. When the temperature of the soldering iron is around 130 degrees Celsius, we disconnect the Type-C power supply and reconnect it. We can see that the soldering iron has activated the heating function upon startup. Alright, we go into the settings interface and turn off the auto heating upon startup feature. Depending on user habits, you can choose to turn it on or off. By default, it is turned off to prevent accidental activation.